So when talking about the red state revolt potentially taking place against Donald Trump, let's start with Montana. Montana, of course, the outdoorsman's paradise. Lots of Bureau of Land Management folks employed in various areas throughout Montana. And unfortunately, hundreds of those jobs have been slashed each month by this administration, going all the way back to the time of Doge. Let me read you this. The federal payroll from the Bureau of Land Management, the Forest Service, and the Fish and Wildlife Service in these small rural communities is huge. It helps pay taxes. It helps keep the little hospital open. Federal employees have kids in the schools where the funding from the state depends on the number of students. But an estimated 5,200 workers have been terminated from these agencies that manage the 640 million acres of federal public lands, and deeper cuts are expected next year. Ranchers and farmers rely on public lands for their livelihood. Outfitters, guides, and hunters regularly use them for sport and sustenance. Forestry, timber, sawmill workers ply their trades in wildlife mitigation and lumber, and support for adequately staffed public lands and continued public access enjoy broad support across the rural West. Now, what's interesting about this is, of course, Montana's a red state. They voted for Donald Trump. They vote Republican every time an election comes up. And they're being screwed, not by the actions of just Donald Trump. They're being screwed specifically by Republican policy. That's what this is, right? This isn't a state that's necessarily feeling, the trade war as hard as some others are. They're just being screwed by good old-fashioned Republican policies, yet they're good old-fashioned, hardcore, consistent Republican voters. And yet they seem to hate all of the policies of these people they keep sending to office. That's really weird, isn't it? Kind of makes you think that it's not the economic policies that's driving these people to the polls. One voter, who happens to be a third-generation houndsman who hunts big game, a man by the name of Terry Zink, said, "You won't meet anyone more conservative than me, and I didn't vote for this." Well, you see, Terry, that's the neat part. You did. In fact, it sounds like you've been voting for this for your entire life.